I was just thinking today, or actually this morning, how so many people blame God for the events taking place in their life and, the negative that may be happening. And I look at one of my situations from my past in which a lot of negative had come from a certain situation. And a lot of people could be like, God, why are you allowing this to happen to me? You know, why is so much stuff coming? Why am I dealing with so much stuff? And basically, how much of it is rooted from one decision that we have made? We could have sown, you know, something God wanted us to wait on, and we decided to act on it prematurely. So the fruit of that is all the garbage from our lack of waiting, if you know what I mean. So, I think about a situation in my life. God told me to wait on a certain issue. And because I did not listen to him and I was talked out of it from what he had said, a lot of negative had come from that one decision. And if it wasn't for him bringing up the reason why I was going through that negative, I would have probably wondered and still been in that place of confusion. And so it was because of him that he showed me exactly why I had gone through what I went through, and it was because of the premature decision that I had made. So to get into a little more detail, I know God had promised me personally that a lot of things before my book would come out, and I I didn't wait on him. I I went through with getting it done myself instead of relying on his provision. And so because of that, I reaped the fruit of the fact that it wasn't supposed to come out yet. And so what was that? Well, it didn't sell like I had wanted. And so it's so easy how we can forget what the Lord tells us about certain things. You know, if you listen to him, he gives you specifics, he gives you details about things that have to go in the order that he wants them done. And so, because I didn't wait on him, I dealt with the fruit of it not selling. I was told that I needed to advertise the book, and I did all that. And none of that did any good. You know why? Because it wasn't God's timing. It wasn't what he wanted me to do at that time. And, the decisions that I had made prior, he had certain instructions that I needed to follow before all that. There was a huge clump of situations that happened, and he gave me specific instructions relating to those situations, and because I didn't listen to him, I reaped the fruit of that. And it's amazing how from one decision in which you're not obedient, how a bunch of negative can come from that one decision. So, basically, I hope from this video that you learn that when you hear God, don't let anyone coerce you. Don't let anyone try to persuade you from, taking a logical step. Don't let anyone dissuade you from walking in faith and having that hope in you. Because if anything, the enemy will use anyone, that thinks logically. And, you may be walking in faith for a place. You may be walking in faith for something to get paid. Well, somebody's going to come up from, the place of Adamic thinking, and they're looking at things from this world and apart from faith. And so they're going to say, well, that's crazy. What are you waiting on that for? What are you waiting on, this certain thing? Why don't you go out and get it done yourself? That's the Adamic way of thinking. That's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to think logically. That way it keeps you from following God fully. And so that is what I had dealt with. And I pray that for my situation, that you can learn to stay obedient to God, that you can continue to follow him despite what people may say to you or about you. So I pray this video has blessed you. Thank you for taking the time to watch.